should evolve into Butterfree.
It does. A lot of the poison bug types kind of get lost in the shuffle from the earlier generations. Venonat, though, I find cute. I like its form. Although, I feel like it needs a couple more legs. I feel like if it were 6-legged, it would look fine.
Yeah, he's a poser as is.
Early Venonat looks pretty similar all the way back. There's no really weird form. It's actually its earliest graphic. Looks pretty good. See?
Oh yeah, he has that weird thing Oddish had going on though.
Yeah,
it, just
it has the all black with the silhouette kind of thing.
Weird.
And then there's Venomoth, which people say Caterpie should have evolved into in similar style. Venomoth has always looked consistently pretty good. I like its shiny a lot.
He saved the day in Twitch Plays Pokemon.
That's
where he was ATV, or as I call him, All-Terrain Venomoth. Just look it up, Google it real quick. All-Terrain Venomoth.
Look how shiny.
I like
It's pretty. It's a nice.
It is.
All-Terrain Venomoth.
There have been some silly arts of it.
Images. Everybody riding on the Venomoth. It's a pretty cool guy.
Because
I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
The thing is that it didn't have it. It took out Lance's Dragonite because against a poison type, it will always use its Psychic type move, which is either Agility or Barrier. And in the first game, the AI never runs out of PP, so it just used Agility and Barrier
until
because
it's
super effective. So I think he died of poison.
That could make sense.
It was really...
Its Japanese name is Morphon, which is kind of a cool name.
Its other names are weird.
Venonat is Kongpang.
Sand.
But yeah, it looks nice. I like it. Design-wise, I give it... It's a simple but good design.
Sand.
Then we get to Diglett, the mystery Pokemon who no one knows what its feet...
Or Digda.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is in French.
Topiqueur.
Oh, French.
It
does have feet.
It has feet, and it has a lower body. No one knows what they look like.
There was a picture once of Brock holding a Dugtrio, which is just him holding the mound of dirt the Dugtrio. So everyone's like, well, what does he look like underneath? And someone else was like, I think on Tumblr, well, no, it's just exactly what it looks like. And there's just a picture of just Dugtrio, and there's just underground, just a Brock holding it. So yeah, every Dugtrio has a Brock under it.
There's also almost an SFW version of the Dugtrio drawing.
Oh, the super buff one?
Yeah, that's super funny. This has an Alolan form, which is based on, what's the stuff called?
Pele's hair.
Yeah, Pele's hair, which is why it has
like
hairs.
Volcanic glass.
Yeah, that you can not really see at this graphic size.
Which really, I think it should be rock type instead of steel. But.
Shiny Alolan Diglett.
He's dangerous.
Looks like this. You can't see it very well in the small version. He's got little...
Those are actually glass fibers. It's not hair.
Yeah, this...
If you touch it, it'll cut you.
Yeah, it will cut you. It's like if you grab fiberglass insulation.
It'll punch you.
His shiny form's kind of janky. A little weirdly dark, but I kind of like it still. But yes, it's actually mentioned in one of the games we already played. He has feet.
He has them?
Yeah, he has 3 feet. One of them is lucky. One of them is
poisonous.
No, one of them is
well, it still smells bad.
Critical attacker, and one of them is
what are you talking about?
Feats.
Oh.
Anyway, the regular shiny is just blue nosed. And that is a nose. It is not a mouth. It's a nose.
It might be a blue mouth. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell from the artwork. It's
a nose. It's a nose.
They're clearly based on Whack-A-Mole.
Original Diglett looks really like, come play with us, creepy. To no one's surprise. Dugtrio is just 3 Digletts.
I'm disappointed.
But they're angry Diglets, okay?
That is an improvement, except not really.
There's 3 of them, and they're angry.
At you!
Okay, so The Pele's hair in this case is just beautiful flowing locks.
They're the Beach Boys.
If you say so.
It's fabulous Doug Trio.
Yeah, oh, they're so fabulous.
Shiny Alolan Doug Trio looks freaking weird.
It does.
It's very saturated.
It's very saturated.
Except for the hair.
And then Meowth, which has
no nose.
what I consider the sassiest, Shin considers the second sassiest.
I mean, by default.
Okay.
Default.
In Pokemon Go, when it's doing its idle pose, it goes. It's sassy. It's a sassy cat. It's a sassy kitty.
Right.
I love Meowth. I liked Meowth even in the anime. I've loved Meowth all the time. Meowth actually shows a really sweet sense of kindness in the saddest episode of the anime ever. Meowth is actively looking to protect Litten during the episode where Litten is dealing with Stoutland. Meowth is a sweetheart. Meowth just is with the bad guys.
He's the straight man of the gang, says Izzy.
Yeah. He is from New England for some reason and learned to speak English by sitting in the attic of... he has like that, gangsta voice a little bit.
England?
New England. Oh. New York City, that kind of stuff.
It can be New York.
He learned to speak by listening to people read tongue twisters while sitting in the attic of...
And they were secretly all from Brooklyn also?
Yeah, but they weren't, and so
They're
that's why I don't...
not to be.
Meowth is a pretty cool guy. The entire reason that they were included in the anime with Meowth was because Pikachu is the other thing, so they could make like a Tom and Jerry kind of thing going on with the trying to catch them. It doesn't outright happen, but it's pretty consistent. Meowth, after Pikachu, is the one with the most Pokemon cards, I believe. Because really? Meowth shows up almost as often as Pikachu in the Pokemon cards as there are a lot of Meowth and Pokemon cards, as well as Pikachu. Meowth has looked pretty similar all the way back. You can really see the Maneki Nico influence in the red and blue graphics, as you can see here.
Oh, yeah, in the first one. You see it clearly in both of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty Maneki Nico.
Someone glued a Weetabix to the cat.
Someone glued a Weetabix to the cat. Yeah, it is, however, really sassy. The shiny, sassy form is really nice. I like it a lot. I like Meowth.
And so should you.
Meowth looks very huggable. And I will actually show... no, don't move the background. The background's not what I want to move. Meowth, over here, you can see just how friggin' sassy this cat is. Look at that.
Spoiler, he's not.
Look.
I know.
He was like...
He doesn't have a nose, though, which kind of hurts his sass.
What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with not having a nose.
He doesn't. No, look, if you look closely, there is no nose.
It doesn't have any problem with it not having a nose. I'm not even mildly offended he doesn't have a nose. Noses are...
overrated.
So last century.
What?
It has a 255 capture rate that figures in numbers and math and...
It means you'll catch him forever if you catch him.
There's... 255 catch rate means it has a pretty easy catch.
Sure.
There is a weird formula for that. I will read about that another time, because you can use a Great Ball and have a lower chance to catch something than a Pokeball with certain Pokemon, which is really strange. The math is bizarre. It's very interesting.
It's too complicated.
It's very interesting. I love the kind of stuff that goes into learning the programming and all. This is what Shin calls Garfield.
Garfield! It's because he's just a regular Persian, but his face got fat.
So, this is Persian. Persian is one of the more generic designs in the entire history of Pokemon. I still enjoy it because I like cats.
But he's not.
It's an easy sell.
Meowth.
The shiny is not different at all. It doesn't look like, to be honest.
It looks a bit lighter, except when him sassy. Well, he's not sassy. He's Garfield.
But yeah, so the earliest generation, it always looked pretty consistent. Although it had a pretty like "I'ma get ya" looking Pokemon Yellow sprite.
As green was also kind of like that. It's funny.
It looks like it's taxidermed in the green one.
It's fine, okay? He's posing to be taxidermed.
But he's alive, that's bad.
He'll be fine, he's a cat.
A classic, iconic Psyduck. The one that
Whoa!
everyone's confused by because it's not a psychic type,
It
even though it has
should be.
Psyduck in its name. It's Godok, or Psycho Quack in French. That's great.
Psycho Quack.
Yeah.
So everyone agrees it's psychic.
Yeah.
But
Shiny Psyduck is really, really bright.
is that how it's pronounced? Psycho Quack?
Yeah, Psycho Quack.
That is amazing.
It's pretty nice looking.
It's so dumb.
Originally it's more purple, not so teal, cyan looking.
He was
and then way back, Psyduck looks like he's like, ha, ha, ha.
And then he's wearing a kimono in yellow.
The earliest Psyduck actually looks almost identical to the final Psyduck. Look, this.
Mm-hmm.
This. I mean, that's almost the same graphic.
Yeah, and he became weirder in between.
He speaks entirely in question marks along with Slowpoke, as we saw in a picture that I sent Shin. Yes. Golduck absolutely should be Psychic type, but is not.
I'm so mad!
But, again, Game Freak doesn't make any mistakes. I really like Shiny Golduck.
Look at their Pokédex entries, they both just obsess over how psychic they are.
Yeah, I really like the blue of of Shiny Golduck. Look at that. That's a nice blue.
I like regular Golduck.
And then Gen 1 had weirdly big eyes.
And he's really
and then he wants to scratch you.
The color broke.
Mankey is that one that people remember from the 2 episodes of the anime he's involved in. That's about it. I don't know what this light blue thing is.
It's part of Mankey. It's the underground part of Mankey.
Yeah, exactly. He just becomes greener in his shiny. The earliest form looks a lot less fleshed out in form. It looks more like a ball with curly cues on it.
Oh. And
the earliest shiny looked very green.
Like a bad, gross meatball.
Okay. The earliest shiny.
Primeape has
Primeape originally looked like a dust sprite that was white and very angry.
Kind of has an upsetting...
About being angry all the time.
7th gen Pokedex.
About being angry all the time to the point where it can kill itself or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes it just gets so angry that it just dies.
Yeah, it gets so mad it dies.
Check it out, just scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, it has an aneurysm. It will never forgive opponents who have angered it, has beaten them down until they can't move. It never forgives. The blood vessels in its brain are sturdier than those of any other Pokemon, so it can stay healthy despite constant raging.
Check out... It was another one, but no,
oh, there it is. It is known to become so angry that it dies as a result. Its face looks peaceful in death, however.
That's dark! Which is weird because the other one says, no, it does. It will be healthy no matter how angry it gets. They're saying, if it gets angry...
I think they're like, whoa, we need to tone it down just a little bit, guys. Just calm it.
We take back what we said earlier.
Shiny Growlithe is nice. It is nice. I want to give it a hug.
We don't hug regular Growlithe or it'll bite you. But if he's shiny, it's fine.
He looks very angry in Gen 2. The earliest shiny is brown.
Gen 1. Oh, Gen 2, yeah.
And then Gen 1, it looks very doggy-like.
I mean, which is fitting.
Look, doggy. It just looks like a doggy with hair.
So do you.
And then Arcanine, which can run an ungodly fast, if I remember correctly, in its Dex entry, it says. It can run where is it? Where's the Dex entries?
Oh, he isn't. 7th gen Growlithe doesn't have one.
No, it's not 7th gen. It's Gen 1.
Oh, Gen 1 didn't. I mean, yes, he did, but someone stole it.
What happened?
Someone stole it! What are we gonna do? Maybe it's at the bottom? It shouldn't be.
Let me see. I'll find it here. Arcanine. Not Arcanine. That's not a thing.
It can be.
Arcanine. Runs really fast. Oh no, it can run really far. The sight of it running over 6,200 miles in a single day and night has captivated many people. How would they be captivated for that long? Are you actively, physically following it that whole time?
Yeah, they're just driving alongside it the whole day.
I want you to know that 6,200 miles is a lot,
Don't ask me. Wasn't my decision. Ask the people following him. I wasn't the one who was captivated and drilled.
New York City to Los Angeles is distance. So yeah, it's 3 times across the United States. 2,790.6 miles is from New York to Los Angeles. And it runs 6,200 miles per day. Where it does this without going into the water is beyond me.
It runs on when it gets to the ocean, it just turns and runs back the way it came.
Yeah.
it's like not going in, we're just running. Yeah, it has zoomies.
Yeah, it has the most zoomies. In Japanese, his name is Windy.
The Japanese names are so weird.
Arcanine is pretty cool, though.
Arcanine is just perma-zoomies, it turns out.
Arcanine is the most huggable.
He's fluff.
I would love to have one as a pet.
If
I remember correctly, it comments a lot on it being loyal, which is nice.
It runs agilely, as if on wings. You know how things run.
Or no, I guess Growlithe is the one that says it's really loyal. It also says that about Houndour is really loyal, if I remember correctly. Very protective of its territory. It will bark and bite to repel intruders from its space. Pokemon with friendly nature, however, it will bark fiercely at anything invading its territory. It is brave and trustworthy nature. Fearlessly stands up to bigger and stronger foes. Extremely loyal, fearlessly barks.
Oh.
As one does, you know. Poliwag is based on a certain
frog?
Type of tadpole that you can see
guts.
you can see its intestines inside of it, and it makes a little spiral. Poliwag tadpole.
In some universes, it'll kill you.
So this is the tadpoles that Poliwag is based on right here. You can see right into their tummy.
And they will spin around and do something terrible.
Someone drew lips on them for some reason, I think. I don't know if that's what's going on there. I don't. No, that's what it. It just looks like it has lips drawn on it. That's okay. That's interesting.
That's how it normally looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone actually went out into the wild and drew lips on all of them.
Yeah. It's part of their community service.
Human tenacity is amazing.
It's another one that had the silhouettes in the first version where they were just all black, with a little bit of color on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Its original shiny is just a bluer version of the regular one, which is pretty much all black, as you can see here.
Oh, that is... It gets color.
Yeah.
I had none. That's interesting.
So it's blue and bluer is all that happens. Poliwhirl was actually really important in the manga, if I remember.
One of the
correctly.
mangas, I think instead of Pikachu, Red had a Poliwhirl.
Yeah.
He was the Pikachu, which is a very interesting choice.
And there's a different one where it's Clefairy. And
No, Clefairy is what was almost going to be the mascot.
Oh, that's right. And then the very first Pokemon that was copyrighted was Mew,
Rhyhorn.
but the very first one that was drawn was Rhyhorn.
Or was it Rhydon? I think it was Rhydon.
Rhydon. Yeah, Rhydon. Who did not get a final evolution until Gen 4, which is the why don't we add a bunch of evolutions
to everything
generation. Poliwhirl.
Really was.
Poliwhirl is a pretty swell guy. He
That's
seems like he's in a pretty good mood all the time.
Which is hard to tell because he only has eyes.
And then when you become Poliwrath, all that happens is you become
angry.
slightly angry and
he
get bigger
gets
shoulders.
Yeah.
It's a water fighting type that knows hypnosis.
Quapo.
Again, they're all black and white, and it goes from being blue to teal in its shiny form, or in the final versions, or the later versions, blue to green. He has another evolution. We will see it in a little while.
In quite a while.
Abra is called Casey in Japanese.
Or at least that's how we translated it. Which is hilarious. I'm going to be really... Have my eyes
it looks
set
a
on
lot
this.
more menacing in Generation 1.
Even though it is completely harmless still.
Yeah, it can only run away.
Which is really
You have
annoying.
to throw an Ultra Ball and hope it catches it on the first round,
Or a
unless
Quick
you
Ball
have a
if they
Quick Ball
existed.
in later generations. Its shiny is never all that eventful looking, apparently. It's usually just slightly
Sleeping.
lighter. That's
The
it.
lawyer says it sleeps for 22 hours a day, I think.
Yeah. And then Kadabra. Kadabra is called Urigerer. I guess it's Jungerer.
That sounds like a reference.
It's in reference to Uri Geller.
And then everything was terrible
what caused
forever.
a lawsuit, which is why after, I think it's the Rocket Pokemon
there are
cards,
no more Kadabra
you will
cards.
never find a Kadabra card. Alakazam is always either a basic or evolves directly from Abra on like 2 versions.
Yeah, it's like an Alakazam EX or GX.
Yeah.
Well, no, an EX.
So you'll never see those cards anymore. Also, in certain versions of the game, to prevent you from containing an Abra for long periods of time, you cannot force it not to evolve.
I don't know about that.
There are a lot of things. It's one. Oh no, it's not affected by the Everstone.
I don't know about that. That sounds hard to believe.
Kadabra Everstone. Kadabra holding an Everstone will still evolve when traded between games.
That is so dumb!
Because of a lawsuit with actual Uri Geller, who was offended because he felt like, because of the fact that it has a star on its forehead, it was a satanic symbol, and he thought that they were associating him with Satanism, so he sued the Pokemon Company and required all these regulations for this Pokemon simply because the name happened to be named what it was. And they didn't do it because it was satanic. They did it because he was psychic, and they just used common symbols. Just like there's a Japanese card that uses a Magi that was switched to a different symbol in the United States because a Magi looks like a backward swastika.
It is a backward swastika, really.
So
it's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, so it's people throwing fits over things that don't need to be throwing a fit over. And in this case, they won in court, and so now you will never see another Kadabra card.
It's Ron Mithril's favorite Pokemon.
Alakazam actually looks cool in his shiny. He's got pink shoulders.
I wish he had a tail still.
Alakazam has an IQ of 5,000 according to the games.
Which doesn't make any sense.
IQ of approximately 5,000. He has a shiny form that is actually different compared to the other ones. It's actually like bright pink shoulders, which is kind of cool looking.
His name is Fudin.
He looks like shadowy and dark.
People call me Elf Monster.
And the earliest versions, it still look pretty similar. He's hiding behind his spoon in yellow.
And he was hella powerful, and he still is.
Yeah, Alakazam's a glass cannon.
Look at his speed. It's like, yeah, it's good.
Alakazam has a glass cannon.
Look at his moves. 120. And it's just like, Mega Beedrill is faster and harder hitting. But he requires a Mega Stone to do it.
Yeah. Well, so does Alakazam.
Isn't he a Mega Stone? Well, that's Mega Alakazam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mega Alakazam's like, screw you, Mega Beedrill, but... he's actually considered one of the less useful Megas, I believe.
Alakazam, though, is a glass cannon. He is very easy to knock out. He doesn't ever get many hit points or defense. Attack. Which is odd because Psychic is strong as Fighting, and Fighting is a very physical-focused attack type.
A special attack, he can still take a bit from it.
Yeah.
His special defense is decent.
Yeah, his special defense is fine.
His paper-thin physical defense, because he's a brain man.
Yeah, and so it's pretty easy to take him out, but if he gets out an attack, he has very strong attacks.
He's dangerous.
Yeah, his little bow tie is all focused on special and nothing.
His little bow tie?
I can't think of what it's called, the little charts they have that show the hexagon and it shows special.
Yeah, I don't know why you call it a bow tie.
Because usually they end up looking like bow ties with 2 things way out and then 2 short ones. It all depends. It's Simsala in German. He can carry a twisted spoon.
Fudin.
5% of the time he's carrying a twisted spoon.
There is no spoon.
What does it do?
There are 2 spoons. Twisted spoon increases the power of psychic type attacks when held.
Machop has a pretty different colored shiny.
Wanriki.
So I caught Machop in Austin, Texas. For those who don't know, Austin, Texas is named after the founder of Texas, whose name is Stephen Austin. There's a wrestler called Stone Cold Steve Austin, so I named my Machop from there Stone Cold.
You already had a perfect Machop.
I do. I have 100% Machamp from here in town.
You just wanted another one?
It was cool. I got it in Texas. The earliest ones look really silly and look a lot more lizard-like. I wish they kept the more lizardy shape.
Yeah, instead of just being a weird buff guy.
Yeah.
He becomes less lizardy the more he evolves. It's
the shiny originally just almost makes him hard to see because he's so dark.
He's stealth Machop.
He's stealth Machop. And then now they go from blue to like a yellow color. Whereas in the originals it was yellow to like a gray color. Even though Machop has always been blue in the artwork. Not exceptionally remarkable, although I like Machop more now than I used to.
Don't we all?
Machoke is green instead of yellow.
And he loses his tail.
He gets Skronk and is born with a belt on.
He's not born.
He evolves into a belt.
And he gets pants.
He evolves to receive pants and a belt.
The pants are part of the Pokemon.
His original shinies are just whether he has red veins gushing through the sides of his body or blue veins gushing through the sides of his body.
I thought those are actually breaks in the skin.
It could be. I don't know.
It's spooky.
And then Machamp gets extra arms and becomes more chartreusey.
He gets a stupid face.
He also has a belt all the time. He is Skronk. I can't believe there's no Mega Machamp. In Pokemon Go, I believe even today, Machamp is the strongest fighting type in the game.
No way.
No,
not a chance.
Yeah.
Mega
the only
Mewtwo.
one
Mega Mewtwo
is not a fighting type.
One of them is.
There's no Megas yet.
Oh, like in the first game, yeah.
In Pokemon Go. The only two that are even close are Hariyama, which is still not quite as good, and Breloom, which is sometimes better depending on what you're doing because of the second typing. Machamp is the superpower Pokemon.
Which is a weird name.
A lot of the Pokemon types are hilarious. Almost anything that is remotely rodent-like is a mouse Pokemon.
No, just everything is a mouse Pokemon.
We can go through and look at some of those later, because there's some great ones.
The mouse Pokemon?
Bellsprout looks yellow.
His name is Japanese.
Madatsu Bomi. Original Bellsprout, if I remember, looks really creepy. And was a little lankier. Look at that snoot.
Whoa! Bellsprout almost is going to have another evolution, but then he didn't.
Almost was?
And the beta for Gold and
Oh,
Silver.
what was it?
It looked a lot more like Bellsprout. That's all I know.
Oh. Weepinbell always looks jaunty and in a good mood. It looks like he wants to walk around, even though he doesn't have feet, because they evolved away. And then you need a Leaf Stone to make Victory Bell. Victory Bell is a pretty cool guy. I like Victory Bell.
It shoots slugs and bugs.
It's based on a pitcher plant.
I like him. He looks sad if you turn him upside down.
What?
If you turn him upside down, he looks really upset.
When do you turn him upside down?
Just if you turn his picture upside down.
Oh. Its name is Utsubot, or Impiflor in French. And it is the flycatcher Pokemon, even though it's not a Venus flytrap. It is a pitcher plant, which I guess also catches flies. That might be what they catch. It gets Skronk in sunlight because of chlorophyll, unless it has Gluttony. Which Gluttony is an iffy ability. It uses a berry.
No.
Then there's Tentacool and Tentacruel, also known as the only thing you run into in the ocean in the first game. Yeah, it is definitely.
They can also use Supersonic. It's not as bad as Confuse Ray.
Although they can use Constrict as well, which is pretty annoying.
In the first early games, at least.
Yeah, or is it Wrap?
No, Wrap. Yeah, Wrap was annoying. Constrict just lowered your speed by 1 point. It was really lame.
I like the shiny. It's pretty cool. I gotta say, I like Tentacool. It's a neat design. I like it as aesthetic.
You wouldn't want him for a husband.
Well, of course not. I don't want an Octodad. Tentacruel is much larger in the anime than it is in the game, because in the anime it's like a kaiju.
For some reason, as is Dragonite.
Yeah. It is, however, only 5 foot tall in the game.
Which is still pretty dang big for a jellyfish.
Yeah. it's got this like scary sickle claw thing going on, and
whatever it is.
Its original
He
shiny
used
is
to have a
almost
shiny
identical.
Tentacruel, but then his game was stolen.
Geodude becomes Goldwind shiny, which I guess makes sense.
It's pretty rad.
And has an Alolan form, which is more copperish.
It has
It gets
strong
metal.
eyebrows.
It gets metal rods all over the place,
It's
and
an
then when it
electric type.
evolves, it gets a cannon.
It becomes an electric type.
Yeah.
It becomes a cannon.
It
Oh,
originally
yeah!
looks really silly.
And up until yellow,
Yeah.
red blue's like, get out of here.
He's hitchhiking.
Yeah. So get
Um,
over here.
Get over here.